Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking the time to join us this evening. I know it's Valentine's Day, but dark, it's Valentine's Day. I know, but today we got some serious topics to discuss. So I want to go ahead and start by first off, give me a 5 by 5 reading. Let me know how you guys are seeing me and hearing me. And then we'll go ahead and get started. You'll see that I skipped all the music with 3 minute intro and all that. We're gonna get right into it today. We have a really awesome guest. So first, let's say congratulations to Mr. Ron Wayne for being first this evening. So Ron Wayne, sir, you deserve one crisp high five. Whoopsh. Oh shucks, sorry. So congratulations, Mr. Ron Wayne, and then let's greet all of our channel members. Mr. Kurt 24, channel member, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Shooting Gallery New England. Hey, hey, what's crack-a-lackin'? He says, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Another channel member. Kurt, we already said hi to Kurt. And Kurt, it's so kind of you to let others be first as well. So thank you for that. Andy Lipsco, what's up, brother? Good to see you. He says, I really thought I'd be first. I guess it's a really big deal to some people being first. You know, as long as you're here, that's all that matters. Let's see. Shooting guy New England, Andy Lipsco, Kurt 24. Hey, Rusty Trombone Shackelford. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Let's see. Ooh, Colt Python. I would like to hear more about that. Mr. Z. Z? What's up, brother? Good to see you. We have Misty, Misdemeanor, Mrs. Wayne, which last time we were on, Flying Rich said that her cartoon icon was sexy, which was really disturbing, actually. So, Flying Rich, if you're out there, yeah, I'm talking about you. Yeah, and that was creepy. It's cool. It's cool, Misty. It's you know, Rich just needs to get a hold of himself. Jeff Crown, what's up, brother? Another channel member. We got Mike McClune, another channel member. And I love being able to like chat with you guys on Instagram and stuff like that. And like come here and see you on the show. It's awesome. Let's see. I'm gonna make sure I didn't miss anybody. Okay, Mike McClune, Misty Miss Wayne, Kirk 24, Jeff Cron. Jeff Cron, what's up, brother? Here we are going to discuss the great, the late. It's a tough day, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, it's a tough day, but I'm doing my best to keep my spirits up for y'all. But yeah, we're gonna discuss that as well. Z Kurt 24, Andy Lipsco, Misty. Let's see who else. Want to make sure I don't miss any of the channel members. Misty, Miss Wayne. There we are. Man Against the Masses. What's up, brother? Another channel member. Good to see you. It's so funny too when people hit me up. Like I was talking to a Marine gun builder, and he was like, "What's up, channel member?" And it's funny because he's got like that up north accent, so he's like actually saying it probably how it would sound authentically. Mine's just completely made up. Kurt 24, Z, Andy Lipsco, Jeff Cron. Dang. Hey, BV Luminous. What's up, brother? Another channel member. I was refreshing your page. I know. That's what happens. For 30 minutes. Dang. Are the YouTube like um notifications like for real like that? Dark fell asleep, Penny. No, not tonight, bro. Not tonight. We were out back. I actually had some slight technical difficulties, so y'all got to bear with me. But today we got a guest from the Heller Foundation, and yes, I mean the Heller Foundation, like as in the Heller decision. The THE. I'm just saying. Okay, Goon Beam. There he is. What's up, brother? Goon Beam, another channel member. Channel member. And let's see who else we got. Rusty, Krusty, Andy, Mike McClune, Baby Luminous, Kurt 24, Jeff Cron, Mike McClune. Dang, y'all be talking. I guess that's what happens when I leave y'all in here for so long. My apologies. Let's see. McClune, BV, Jeff Cron. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anybody, man. It's so important to me that I hit every single channel member when I'm getting this started. So y'all, and the chat just refreshed, so I probably lost a whole bunch. Hey, Taco Syndicate, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. 5 by 5, man against the masses, of course. 5 by 5. I appreciate you. Thank you. Let's see, Taco Syndicate. Hey, too many choices. I see. That's what happens when the chat refreshes, y'all. Too many choices. Another channel member. There we go. And let's see, Taco Syndicate, Mike McClune. ADXR920, what's up, brother? One of the coolest Shadow System handguns, as if they do anything else. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Too many choices. Barton Fink, what's up, brother? Yeah, and channel members, if you're in here, sound off. That way I can see you. That way I can see you. Okay, hold up. Hold up. Getting right into it on Valentine's Day. Just my style. Hell yeah. I see. Okay, so I see this. So something happened. So Shauna, I'll just say Shauna, okay, because I always mess up your last name. Ewing. Um, and I see, okay, we got him. Hey, okay, Andy Lipsco gifted one DLD After Dark membership. Bro, thank you. Look at that. When I started the chat, Ron Wayne was not a channel member, but he was first in chat. And then when it refreshed and I came down, it said Ron Wayne was the channel member. I was like, hold on, what just happened? So Kurt24, thank you, my brother. You guys know that they don't show us this stuff. Like, so in chat on StreamYard, they don't show me when you guys like gift subs or when you do, the stuff that you do like that. So you guys, when you're channel members, you get like free super chats and things like that. And they don't show us that on StreamYard too. So I think it's YouTube. I don't think it's StreamYard. I'm just saying. I mean, let's be real. But hey, Morning Star, what's up, brother? Another channel member. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, Supply Co in the building. What up? What up? I just saw your message right as I was going live. My apologies. I'll get back with you, my brother. Okay, so let's see. So Ron Wayne, Kurt 24, Andy Lipsco. Hey, Print Bunny, still a channel member. I'm the 12th to the video. Let's see. Morningstar. Good to see you, Morningstar, by the way. Hey, dang, we got Hoffman Tactical in the building too, man. That's crazy. It's crazy. Okay. And I'm just making sure I didn't miss anyone. Y'all know how it is. And if I did miss you guys, anyone, I'll definitely go back. Just some quick honorable mentions. We got Johnny Barr, we got Joe Morris, we got Jack Sin, we got Tuck Firance, very unique name, love it. Which of course I know I've seen you, forever. I'm just saying, cool name. Damian Christ, what's up, brother? Damian Christ. Uh, yeah, Damien. Snoring Rich, of course. Snoring Rich has to make an entrance. MC, what's up, brother? Good to see you. MC in the place to be. And I got what it takes to rock the mic, right? Yeah. Watch me get a copyright strike for that. SL, Too Dark. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Who else? Who else? Hoffman Tactical, of course. We gave that shout out. 1776 Supply Co. Black Owl. What up? What up? We got Johnny Ba, Marconi, the Armsman, and Jin Champ Jr. What up? JC9, good to see you, bro. Man, Rip Dango. You guys are thorough, man. Y'all never miss a stream. I love it. I love it. Bill Bogan, what up? That 40 though. That 40 though. Trying to poke fun. Jackson and Fire Rodder. Agrizer, all you guys, love all y'all. Okay, sorry. I like to give y'all that moment because a lot of times, when we get in these long form conversations, I tend to miss chat, and it's I just want to make sure that I honor each one of you guys as you come in. So thank you. I appreciate all you guys. So before we begin, I want to first start by saying that today is February the 14th. It's Valentine's Day. And yesterday, we lost quite possibly one of the coolest, most profound, not only just machine gun builders, but people um, in the 2A world. Richard Hoffman was just one of the coolest, most badass, authentic people I think I've ever met. And we know he's had a very long battle with cancer. And recently his wife had passed away and he was going through a really, really challenging time. And he finally is no longer in pain. And I'd like to think that he's reunited with his wife and that they're both in a much, much better place. And I just want to say, Hoff, brother, I love you. I miss you. And I know I know you're in a better place, and I know you're you're not hurting anymore, and that's important. And I also want to honor just how fucking tough he was, man. Like this dude is just eating ass and spitting nails. I mean, this guy was one of the toughest SOBs that I knew. And yeah, we miss you. We love you. And everything you taught us, some stuff can't be repeated. Everything you taught us, we'll remember. And everything we do moving forward, we want to honor you. And thank you. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back through all the times he'd come on the show and do a mashup of like the finest moments of Hoff. And I also want to make it family friendly, which is difficult to do with the Hoff. I think every show that I did with him was was like hit by YouTube. Like it was like, no, no. But it's hard to put things like this into words, man. It's incidents like this where words fail us. And yeah, I just want to say I love you and I'll always remember you. And all the times that we had, like before a show and after a show where we talked, that shit was special. And we miss you and love you. Yeah, the Uzi Master. Yep. It's just one long tribute video of beep. Yeah, everything blurred out. Yeah, RIP. Rest in peace, Hoff. We love you. We miss you. Yep. Yep. The Uzi Master, he really was, man. Like people jokingly say it, but man, like IMI, like at times they would literally call him to run things by him and get his opinion because he was just the master of the Uzi platform. He actually has, and I'm sure a lot of you already know this, he has like a one of one Uzi Katsar, which is cats are in I guess Israel, whatever over there, is short, kind of like Kurtz is in German, right? Like 9 millimeter Kurtz is a 380. Katsar means the same thing in Israel. So what he did is he took a mini Uzi front end and a full size Uzi receiver and a full size Uzi wooden stock and did a build based on that. And it's just a little badass and it runs like like a sewing machine. And um, yeah, but I'm just thinking about his family. And I know it's not easy right now. There's still the foundation for him going at Give Sing Go slash Hoff or the Hoff. I have to pull it back up. I'm sorry, you guys. I was doing some other show prep before today, but Hoff, we miss you and love you, and we just want to honor how much hate and disdain you have towards the ETF, and we care about that so much because that means a lot, especially as an '07, '02 SOT. I mean, dude's building machine guns, and he's like, man, some of the things y'all, if y'all were around for it, the stuff that he said publicly was ballsy. He had zero F's to give. And I mean, he literally said it. He is like, I'm literally dying, shitting into a bag. I do not care about anything, and that's just how he lives. So, Hoff, we love you. We miss you. We're going to continue to miss you, and we will do our best to honor you as well. So, yeah, too many choices. He was a G. I wish I could have gotten one of those Uzi patches last year. So luckily I did get an Uzi patch. I think you know what? I got I got two right there, luckily. So I'm yeah. A lot of sadness. Let's see, a lot of sadness, but Mickey, I'm sure is happy to see him. Yeah, for sure. Um, so it's difficult to transition out of that, but I want to go ahead and start the show. And today is kind of special for a couple of reasons. So let me for those of you out here that are patient, let me get some nicotine real quick before we start. Thank you, thank you. Okay, all right. So, um, we've had people on here before that have you know survived some pretty intense things that have survived um, situations of like self-defense and things like that. And it's like a special reminder to you know, keep our tools on us, right? To remain hyper vigilant, to be as careful and cautious as we can, to seek out training, to become better at what we do. But also, we've had advocates, people that are advocates of our natural rights, and people that look at it that way, right? Not this like fake to a kind of stuff that we you know maybe used to with some organizations. But one of the most famous decisions to ever happen within the world of the Second Amendment is the Heller decision. And tonight, this evening, exclusive on DLD After Dark. No, I'm kidding. Um, Tonight on DLD After Dark, we have a very special guest. Um, I'm going to go ahead and bring her on now, and I'd like to introduce Kristie Turtle. No, Kristie Tertel of the Heller Foundation.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I just wanted to share our deepest sympathies again to all the friends and family of Mr. Hoffman. You know,
Yeah.
we put out a press release, and if there's anything we can do, I do know there's a Give Send Go. It's was it www.givesendgo/Hoff. That's the best
Hoff.
way to donate, guys.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And I actually read your article. It was a very, very well done article. And you know, I think it's still, fresh for everybody. So it's kind of, hard to process it. He was an awesome guy. And I appreciate you guys doing that article. And you wrote that, right?
Yeah, it's truly an honor. Thank you for recognizing that. What I plan to do once it kind of settles down in a couple of weeks, I want to do a feature piece and pitch it to maybe the Wall Street Journal or the New Yorker. I usually get some pretty good media coverage, and just to remember his legacy before the anti-gun establishment starts to attack it. That's why I put the press release out so quickly, because I wanted to maintain the integrity of his legacy.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I was just talking, when you and I were backstage, it was saying like we usually, and I guess we by like the small little like YouTube community we have like between, myself and Crump and Rich and all the other guys, we're not like attacked, too often by the other side. But I don't know. I guess this would definitely be an opportunity for them to jump in. So I appreciate you guys doing that.
Bring it.
Yeah, and you're no stranger to the other side attacking you. Before we before we get into that, take a moment just to introduce yourself. Let everyone know who you are, what you do, and where they can find you, and all that stuff.
Sure. Thank you so much for the introduction. My name is Kristie Tertel, nickname Turtle. I will answer pretty much anything. I am the National Director of Legislative Policy at the Heller Foundation. You can check us out on the website www.hellerfoundation.org, and we invite you to join the Heller Army today. All of our socials are Real Dick Heller and the Heller Foundation. We're on every single social media aspect that we can. We're permanently banned from TikTok, unfortunately. So we're giving them hell and taking names as much as we can. Um, I am Australian American. I thought guns were dumb. My background is I have 2 law degrees. I am fluent in 7 languages. I am former Trump administration White House press lead. Um, After that, I became the press secretary for both Veterans for Trump, Veterans for America First, and the sister organization Latinos for Trump, Latinos for America First at the same time. I'm a
Wow.
monster. Yeah. Um, I do a lot of campaign work as well as a subcontractor. Recently, I was in New York for the governor campaign for Lee Zeldin, and then I jetted over to Georgia for the special election for um, that campaign as well for Herschel Walker, and I was press secretary for that as well. So I use my skills to fight for freedom and look cute doing it. That's what I say.
Yeah, that's impressive. I know we've talked about some things, but holy shit. I didn't know your resume was like that. That is that's impressive. And I know Rich is saying he's like, I think he misspelled. He said, "Wow," and I talked to her. You talked to her. Yeah. Well, I was gonna make a joke that she was outside of my league for being a guest, but I think we're gonna have an important chat tonight, and we just started and got almost 60 people in here, so this is gonna be a good one. Um, so you've kind of had a hell of a journey, and I guess part of your journey kind of brought you to working with Dick Heller, right? But I don't know where do you want to start?
Start at the beginning.
Let's do it.
So, in my capacity as, I think it was actually before Trump entered the White House, there's a conservative political equivalent of SHOT Show. You guys might be familiar, called CPAC. It's Conservative Political Action Conference, hosted by the ACU every year. It's usually in Washington, D.C., but because of COVID, they've had remote locations in Florida, and in Texas, I believe Dallas. But I met Dick Heller backstage working the green room as kind of a speaker escort, making sure his wife, Miss Jane, was situated, making sure that his nerves were kind of calmed down before he went on stage. Because I met him in 2000. Oh my gosh, it was exactly 5 years ago next month. So don't make me do the math. I think it was 2018. So it was the 10-year anniversary of the Heller decision, and his nerves were shot. He was about to go on stage, and he saw me putting makeup on a black eye, and he pulls me aside right before he's ready to go, and he goes, "Girl, what's going on?" Okay. When the Heller decision was 2008, so when
Mhm.
that stuff was going on, I was still in law school. I was a 3L. Believe it or not, I graduated from law school at the University of Sydney in Australia.
Wow.
Justice Scalia, I met Justice Scalia a few months before he died in a lottery, and we had dinner with a couple of my other professors. I had no idea that I would be 3 feet away from the man who wrote the precedent for the Heller decision. It was insane.
Wow. That's crazy. And
Um,
he had seen you putting or applying makeup to a black eye. Like it
yeah,
was so
up
so
until that point, the gentleman I was dating, fortunately, he still works in politics. That shows you how shady it is. Had beaten me into a coma 6 times, and I had been left for dead in a dumpster in Baltimore. And Mr. Heller had no idea who I was, who I was with. Same. I just thought, hey, I never had a grandpa. He's cool as crap. Let's hang out. Um, After he spoke on stage, we exchanged numbers, and instantly there was a connection. He became a father figure to me almost instantaneously. He taught me how a gun was the great equalizer. And couple of months later, I had my first lesson actually at his kitchen table.
wow.
And the bullet that went through his window in, I think it was 1972, that started the whole thing of the Heller decision. He went and showed me it. It's in a bush somewhere in the front. He's a dude, so it's there somewhere. And I'm just like, wow, okay, this is like living history.
Wow.
Um, After the classroom lesson, he took me to the range at the NRA headquarters in Virginia,
Yeah.
and the
In
first gun I ever
Fairfax.
shot was the Heller gun.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I've been to that range actually. As a matter of fact, I was a member of that range in Fairfax off of Waples Mill Road where they have the museum there too.
Hmm. And
That's
he's in the museum too. Yep.
yeah, yep, that's right. He is. Yeah. Yeah, that's a crazy spot. So we kind of glossed over one thing. You were you were in a domestic violence situation
Yep.
and you had said that you had been beaten into a coma.
Yep.
Holy shit. Okay. And prior to that, had you'd not had any introduction into the world of like self-defense, self-preservation or anything like that?
Heck no. And I wrote my undergrad senior thesis on why guns were the dumbest thing. In Australia, we don't have them. And I thought video games are responsible for Columbine. I wrote a 25-page paper on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And was it was it that like that interaction with him and kind of learning about guns and actually going to the range that kind of changed your perspective, or and
Yeah.
real quick, by the way, Flying Rich, I I saw your super chat, brother. We'll get to it in a minute, I promise. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no worries. Hey, Flying Rich, how are you? He's friendly too.
Yeah.
Um, I, it was very anticlimactic. I was terrified. I was shaking. And then once I pulled the trigger on the Heather gun after my classroom instruction, it was like, that's it. And I
Yeah.
fell in love with the tool and the process, but I was not a gun owner yet.
Okay. So what happened from there?
First time I ever came out was in front of the Supreme Court a few months later, in June of 2018, um, at the 10-year anniversary of the Heller decision. Senator Ted Cruz was supposed to speak, but because Antifa was there protesting and swarming, it
Mhm.
was too much of a security threat. So last minute, I filled in for Senator Ted Cruz, and I didn't know at the time. That's when a couple of I didn't know I even had stalkers at that point. I'm currently up to 43. Unfortunately, was in attendance and had recorded the whole thing and sent it to the guy who beat the crap out of me. Thank goodness Heller taught me about narcissism. And
Dang.
at that point, I was brainwashed. It was insane. So the first time I ever came out was actually celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the Heller decision, and I had no idea how big of a deal that was, and I still don't think that I can comprehend that, to be honest.
Wow. I mean, that probably made a huge impact. You know, that coming out, and it's such a time, you know. Flying Rich sent another super chat. He said, "Got my head bag ready, Dark. I'll be at your house in 14 hours. Let's ride." I imagine he's referring to the person that hurt you.
He's not a man, so absolutely.
The subhuman piece of shit. So what? Backing up a little bit. How did you end up in that situation? Was it just a normal relationship that turned bad, or like what happened?
Yeah, that's what it was. I found myself apologizing every time he hit me. I was brainwashed. I'm in trauma therapy now, so I realized looking back that it was just a cycle of abuse that kept getting worse and worse. And every time that he hit me, he promised me it would never happen again. And not only did it happen again, it happened um, closer in time, and it got more violent. And it got to the point where I was making excuses for him and apologizing for him having to raise his voice and also to raise his hand. Um, I denied
Wow.
it. I thought I was going crazy. He would be literally right next to me making a phone call to me and then deleting the outgoing call. And I'd be like, why did you just call me? And then he said, I didn't call you. And he'd show me his phone. It was that crazy making behavior where it actually had me questioning my own sanity. Like, did this reality really just happen?
Wow. That's crazy. In I guess when it started in the beginning, was it just like arguments, or like how did it escalate to that point?
It went from 0 to 100 real quick, usually when he would be drinking. And I didn't um, follow his requests to the letter of the law. For example, he lived in Fells Point in Baltimore, and he'd come home after, he works in politics, so we'd be at an event together. And he would demand that I go to just down the street to get him chicken wings at 2 a.m. in the middle of Baltimore. And I was terrified by myself. And obviously I didn't. And that was a problem for him. So,
Holy shit.
yeah.
Okay. For people that don't know out there, um, almost all places in Baltimore, once the sun goes down, is extremely I mean, like, the living conditions there are terrible, right? Crime is crazy. I've told a lot of people here that I have a history of substance abuse, and I'm over 12 years clean, and Baltimore was where I used to go to get drugs. Like it's that place, and I'm not every place, right? But it's just dangerous, right? And it's dangerous for, even, for anyone, for anyone. So I don't think I communicated that appropriately, but it's dangerous, y'all. Okay. So no one should be going out to get chicken wings at 2 o'clock in the morning. Just saying.
And especially a noob like me, where half a block can mean the difference between being in the ghetto and
Yeah.
being in a safer area.
Yeah. Yeah. True. There are some safe areas in Baltimore. I don't want to make it sound terrible, but it's mostly a shithole. So this asshole was in politics as well.
Still is.
Whoa. Wow. Okay. And wow, that's crazy. And you coming out saying this, like, was your relationship known? Like, did people start to like realize, put two and two together, that they knew it was him, or what
They
happened there?
started to, especially after I spoke at the Supreme Court. There was probably about 300 legacy media outlets from not only across the country but apparently across the world. And because of that, I didn't say his name. It got a lot of attention. He ended up calling in a peace order in Maryland against me for telling the truth.
A peace order, is that like a restraining order,
It's
or
a civil version of a restraining order. And because he works in politics in Baltimore, that was a very easy thing for him to get. In the middle of the
uh
night, making a phone call, I believe he called at like 11:59. He got an interim justice of the peace or whoever was filling in. Got I got served at my house in Pennsylvania and fell to the ground. What just happened?
dang,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah.
Okay, so a lot of people are asking, guys, we're not here to dox anyone. A lot of people are asking for names, but I don't think that would be appropriate. So
Listen,
yeah.
Carmick is a bigger bitch than any of us could ever be, so it's all good.
Oh yeah, facts, 100%. Um, sorry. Oh, I saw somebody say I have a question. It's a gun question. This is what I love about our community, is that like the side conversations are epic. And just real quick, Sunflowers, Fire Router, Paul Bald, Slim223, Bob, all you guys, Sport Brand. Excuse me. Good to see all you guys. Thank you for joining. John Kimball, Princess Kicking Butt, aka Ting Ting. Good to see all you guys. Thank you. Agorizer. Um, okay, so now going back a little bit, I want to let everyone know in here that um, Chrissy had shared some pictures with me um, prior to this, and I just want to kind of double check, like you're okay with sharing those pictures and showing them what happened.
It needs to be shown full send. Let's do it.
Okay. Um, if if there are like young ones around, or I know y'all know that DLD is not like children friendly. All right. I literally click the tab. This is not for children on every video I've ever made. Okay. But I just want to, if you're casting this on a TV, sitting down, watching this with your entire family, maybe push the young ones off to bed before we bust these pictures out. Okay. So I can pull the pictures up, and if, not to be all crazy, and you can tell me to stop and pull them down at any point, um but kind of explain like what it is and what happened. And
Sure.
I guess, so this, I'll pull this picture up. This is one of the first pictures that you had sent me. So when was this taken, and what happened?
Um, so I believe that was 2017. Um, I think that was when he dragged me from the car after a wreath laying ceremony that we do every year to honor soldiers right before Christmas. He's across America, and um, I wanted to get out of the car. I was terrified, and he didn't want me to.
So that's like road rash.
I have traumatic brain injury, so I don't recall. I believe that is. Um, they had
It-
lifted up the hair that's covering the back. So if I could find that picture, and there's actually brain matter there. So more have had to happen that day. Um, I
Jesus.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's an intense picture. That was the first picture that you sent me, that I saw rather, was this one, and that's when I was like, Jesus, like it the story needs to be told. Like I promise you, out of the 60 people that are in here right now, somebody is either, going through some type of domestic violence situation, or somebody in this chat knows somebody that's going through a domestic violence situation. So, that's why we're having this conversation. And then, of course, because you guys know that, me, the channel, Christy, all of us are, serious proponents of keeping your tools on you, and not just your tools, but your awareness and other things we're going to talk about as well. Um, but the ability, of self-preservation is everything, and it's something that's owed to every single human being. So yeah, that's a pretty intense picture. I mean, it's got to be tough to look at.
It's almost like an out of body experience, to be honest, because maybe that's my brain kind of in self protective mode,
Yeah,
where just once we speak on, unfortunately, the other crimes that occurred more recently, that I do remember the details only when I'm sleeping.
mm,
They'll occur, and either I'll be triggered by something in real life, or I'll have night terrors and I'll start to get flashbacks.
yeah. There's an interesting thing that our brains do when we go through traumatic events, and it could be smaller things. It could be very intense things, but any type of trauma that kind of sticks with you. You remember those like old projectors that had like a circle thing with all the like slides in it? And then like when the teacher clicks a little button, it kind of moves the slides all over. I kind of feel like our brains are like that when we have something traumatic happen. Excuse me. We have something traumatic happen, and instead of, that slide being the one that we're projecting and looking at, it goes all the way to the back, and we put it back there, and we try not to bring it up and look at it, and, remember, we kind of try to like hide it from ourselves.
I hid it from everyone, not only from ourselves. I hid it from my family. I hid it from 99.9% of my friends. Yeah,
How
it's
did you hide something like that? Did you just
just
isolate?
went MIA.
Wow, that's
You know.
crazy. So there are some other pictures, we can take a look at too. Let me just pull this up here. You had mentioned that you were, um, putting makeup on a black eye. Let me pull this up here. Um, I have another picture to kind of follow this up, but was this around that same time, or was this a different time?
Yep. Yeah, and he had a hell of a right hand too. Um, I had to get, unfortunately, like I have about a ton of oral surgery I need to get, because he would hit me, and then he would follow up with the following punch. So like a lot of my teeth need to be replaced because they're cracked, and he would alternate eyes. So even if I covered with, it up with makeup, you could still tell that it was inflamed. Um, so
Jesus,
I found ice really alleviated that. But sometimes when you couldn't cover it with makeup, then you just got stuck in traffic, can't go in public. You know.
damn, that's crazy. It's honestly like even me seeing the pictures and hearing the story prior to this, it's hard. And I know, look, a lot of people in chat that are watching, I'm sure, are having a tough time with it too. But even I'm having a tough time. But look, this isn't to exploit Christy and what she's been through,
Mhm.
guys. Like this is something that's important to discuss. That like every single person, every human being has the right to self-preservation, and has the right to use, build, carry any tool that they deem fit, for their own protection and self-preservation. Um, and I think this is kind of what brought you to that point, right? Now, before we
And,
continue that, what?
you matter, you are worth fighting for. And it took about a year and a half of trauma therapy to realize that, I had value just by being alive. I didn't have to prove my value or my worth by accomplishments or anything, so I learned how to love myself, I guess, in the honor of Valentine's Day. That
Oh yeah.
was, if you see a couple of the pictures in the background, there's curtains. So if you're familiar with
Mhm,
Baltimore, as you get on the expressway, especially in the summer, there's little mini um, bodegas, the equivalent of a bodega in New York, but it's
mhm,
it's 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 kind of the Baltimore version. And you'll see tents set up where they're selling bottled water. Sometimes they're trying to wash the windows of your car. So what I would do is I would try to get water to clean the wound out right away. So that's what you see in the background if you do see kind of like a makeshift tent, because that occurred in the summer. And I was just trying to, you know, address my wounds by myself as best I could.
Jesus. And is this from the same incident, or is it?
That was a different incident. That was right before I met Heller. I mean, I have scars um, still to this day, but I wear them as a badge of honor at this point.
Jesus. I mean, you honestly, you should, bringing, yourself to like that, having that realization, like that, I am important. I am, like what you just explained, like that's, a lot of people have a tough time with that, without going through traumatic situations like you have, So I agree, that that moment of like self-realization is huge. And that's a lot of therapy gets, you know, people through that.
Absolutely.
And let me take a look back through here. Um, there was another picture here. You'd sent me much more. You'd even sent me death threats and
Yeah.
threats that you've been getting from, I'd say, you know, leftist extremists, I guess we'd call them. The
Some of them are from
anti-gun
my own
crowd.
party. And some of them are from the gun industry.
Mm, dang,
They want to shut me up, and I only get louder.
hell yeah. So what was this? This was a separate incident, I imagine.
Yep. Um, I think that was around St. Patrick's Day.
Mm,
And I think I was being cute after one of our many arguments where it's cycle. We're breaking up. No, I love you. I love you more. And he loved me more by punching me in the nose. And oh, that's my old Pontiac car, R.I.P. I remember that car.
mm,
Um, but yeah, that was one of the nicer incidents. And I had no idea my nose was bleeding until I took that picture as I was driving, because I noticed people at traffic lights were kind of staring at me and doing a double take. And I was like, I got something in my mouth. Do I got like a flat tire? Like, I'm looking everywhere. And then I took a selfie and I was like, oh shit.
damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, Ting Ting says, "I would love to feed that guy to the pig pen." Yeah, that's of course, you know, this is all satire, guys. All those crazy things you guys are saying, that's all satire and jokes. Um, I mean, look, trying to kind of make light of it, but I mean, this is a very serious situation. You are extremely lucky to be alive, going through all that. And
Yeah.
now here we are, present day. A couple people were asking, so now you carry every day, or from that point that you kind of went through the training with Dick, like where did that bring you from then to today?
Okay. So interim, I was served with a peace order.
I'm so sorry. Let me specify, guys. I'm talking about Dick Heller. So I should probably confirm that. I'm referring to Dick Heller. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
When everyone's name is Rich, it's yeah.
Yeah, I would rather call them Dicks anyway. Yeah.
um, he prefers Gun Dude, by the way. Y'all are buddies, so yeah, you can call him Gun Dude from now on.
Gun dude. Nice.
Um, I wasn't a gun owner until, again, something that was preventable happened. Um, After the peace order was worked out, a couple of months later, so about 2.5 years ago to today, I have right now 43 stalkers, men and women. Mental illness is a thing when you work in politics. You just kind of collect them. There's hit pieces on me everywhere. I look cute. I'm like, hey, it's better than a dating app. It's fantastic. Um, but because of the fact that I have stalkers, and I get doxxed by Antifa still 1 to 2 times a quarter. It used to be every week. Um, we have to hire executive protection, which is kind of like a security detail, especially if I'm going to be working in public at rallies or if I'm speaking. Just if my name's on a bill anywhere, it's just unfortunately has to happen. A gentleman
Yeah.
that I had met through a veteran organization offered his services as executive protection, a Navy SEAL, a retired Navy SEAL. We were on our way to a meeting. I had to fax some documents. He goes, oh, I'm sorry, I had to copy documents before faxing them. And instead of going to Staples and spending that $3, he goes, well, my apartment's right here. Why don't we just copy them here? And I don't remember much. Um, I had been drugged and raped very, very violently. Um, we found out,
By someone that was supposed to be your security detail.
yep. We found out later that he had put horse tranquilizer, crushed up horse tranquilizer, and put it under the pizza, the cheese of the pizza. I believe it was Papa John's. Still to this day, I can't be near Papa John's pizza. That's a trigger. Something with the cheese combination that my body just instantly, like, I will just literally go somewhere and vomit. I can't be near it. Um, we found bite marks all over my body. In the rape kit, we found, I think they said there was 8 or 9 unused tampons. So he had left the wrapper on the tampon and shoved them inside me. They found a remote control inside me, like the DVR remote control. Um, yeah,
Oh my god.
he was trying to kill me. I believe he was trying to kill me with the amount of stuff that they found inside me. Apparently, I was proud of this. I pulled a MacGyver. I locked all the valuables in my car that was parked out front. I knew at that time that I was not able to drive, so I walked a couple of miles barefoot to the emergency room, in and out of consciousness while calling my girlfriends, saying, pinging, this is where I am, this is where I am, because I had an iPhone. And 2 of them, I had arranged to meet me in the emergency room to keep it out of the press. And yeah, I had a rape kit done. Um, I had no idea that I was actually raped or had been given the morning after pill until they accidentally sent me a bill 2 weeks later. The hardest phone call I ever had to make in my life was to Dick Heller and tell him that I had just been raped the night before. And
Holy
that's when I
shit.
became a gun owner.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I mean, I could not even imagine. I mean, that's I know we talked prior to this, but holy shit.
Yeah.
I could not even imagine that feeling of like powerlessness, you know?
And it's one of those things where now I've not only learned and I fell in love with my tool. As soon as I couldn't drive home after they had finished the rape kit, so I had to, you know, it happened in Philadelphia, a suburb of Philadelphia, which is another story, another time and place. I'm writing victim right legislation right now in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, just because the way it was mishandled by um, Larry Krasner, the DA in Philly, who's very corrupt, unfortunately. You see someone who's conservative, and where I worked at the time, they didn't handle it as well as they should. So, yeah, it took about a week to get a search warrant. By that time, they found his apartment was emptied, bleached, head top to bottom. Can't find him to this day. Um, was a little scary to be honest, but I train Krav Maga 5 times a week. I train. I do a lot of moving and shooting. I fell in love with my tool. The first gun I ever bought was an FN 509. See, I'm a little one, so it has to be
Nice.
compact. um, and a lot of people that I had no idea who they were outside of politics went out of their way to make sure that I was okay. Bob Ramo, the owner of Shooter's Gauntlet in Pennsylvania, he taught me how to shoot, and I'm forever grateful. Stephen Williford, the Sutherland Springs shooter, I
Yeah.
had met through my work with Latinos and Veterans for Trump. I spent a year traveling with him across the country. He's an excellent firearms instructor, especially doing active shooter situations and learning a whole new game of situational awareness. Lou Lusk also, Rick Posey with survival mindset. And it's been incredible. And I've testified, it has to be about 150 times now in different
Wow.
state legislatures, United States Senate Judiciary Committee meetings, anywhere where I can talk, let's go.
Wow. That's great. And Stephen Williford, some people know him as the barefoot hero. And he was the guy that, with no shoes on, grabbed an AR-15, a magazine, and some loose ammo. Which, guys, keep your mags loaded. Keep some mags loaded at least. But I mean, hey, he's a hero. Like, you having the ability to learn from those types of people, like that's huge. And I think um you've gone through some terrible things, some things that are so traumatic that you know um most people would have a really, really difficult time working through that. And I think firearm ownership and everything that comes along with it, because it's like you said, it's not just the tool, there's so much more than that. Like, it gives you a level of empowerment, and not like power. I think people on, like, I hate to say, like, the other side, but people that don't understand what we're talking about when we're talking about self-preservation. I mean, all of these things could have been prevented,
Yeah.
you
And,
know?
and we've gone through those exact scenarios where in Krav, it was a lot of crying, but it was very, very therapeutic. Um, the parts of the rape that I did remember, we went through and I figured out a way, armed and unarmed, how to get out of it. What I would do in that situation with options A, B, and C. And that was incredible to be able to be like, this is what I learned from this situation. This is how it could have been prevented entirely with situational awareness.
Mm, wow. So do you continue to seek training, and like, what type of environments? Like, just I know you mentioned a bunch of people, but I'm just kind of curious what kind of things you do.
I love Tony Simon diversity shoot. What is up?
He's awesome.
I actually bring in a lot of, after I speak, people do come to me privately, men and women,
Yeah.
and tell me, hey, do you know anyone who can help me? So I actually bring survivors of crime and I pull Tony aside and say, hey, this just happened to them. A very violent crime that, trust me with my discretion. And there are incredible trainers out there. Kaya Jones is another example from the Pussycat Dolls. She's a friend, and she's starting to come out more and more with what she had to live through. She's a good friend of Mr. Heller and I, and it's
Mm,
one of those, y'all can threaten me. I get death threats often. I'm at 43 stalkers, and I'm only getting louder. You don't scare me. And the more I speak, the more people come forward saying, this is happening to me. Do you know anyone who, I'm not a firearms instructor, but I know a ton of really outstanding ones that I personally train with that are trauma informed. So
yeah.
I'm a resource.
That's so empowering, to people that are overcoming something, and getting into this world, like, acquiring the tool is one piece, right? And then acquiring, the considering carrying it, and then acquiring the holster, and then acquiring like 10,000 other holsters, because you don't know what's going to work with, what you're wearing and doing and all that. And then, getting extra mags, and getting training, and going to the range, and changing, the way that, one may dress, or changing what belt you can, or whatever it is, like, all these things. It is a whole rabbit hole of just, new things that, I feel like are therapeutic, because they do keep you busy, and they also keep you focused on preservation of life. And it's not just our own, it's preservation of life in general, right? Like, I'm sure that out of the 60 people in here, the majority of us would protect somebody like you or anybody going through something like that, no question.
It's one of those, well, the illusion of power, the grandeur of politics. People that did knew and did see me in that condition looked the other way because they were terrified of the repercussions that might happen. But there are genuinely good human beings, and there's a ton in this industry.
If I could break down 2 words, I'd say if I could break that down into 2 words, people that are knowing what's going on and looking the other way, I would say they are fucking pussies. That's the way I would describe them. And and not even like that's just me being, whatever. Actual, like, just cold ass, careless, just subhumans. That's terrible.
Yeah,
That's the wrong method of self-preservation. That's crazy. I'm I know I've, told you this privately, but I am terribly sorry that you had to go through the shit that you did. But the fact that you're taking it and you're putting a positive, force behind it, and you're getting out there and you're educating people, talking to people, you're potentially freeing them. You're giving them resources, showing them what to do, informing them, introducing them to other people. I mean, that shit's powerful, and you every time you speak, you could literally be saving lives.
110%. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yeah, man. I think it's important that we talk about this. Now, you said you got an FN 509C.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and any do you have any long guns or AR shotguns or what's your thing? What do you
I
like?
like stuff that gives me heartburn. Okay. So I'm a former college hockey player. I like checking. I run Spartan races for fun. So, like, believe it or not, because you think all of that, oh, I would have been fine. I would have been able to defend myself. And even then, I wasn't able to. But now I'm
Yeah,
empowered. I actually like it. I like a big bang. I am
nice,
looking into an AR. I spoke to the incredible team at Car, so we have a little behind the scenes stuff in the works. But I'm also looking into doing Kevin Dixie's training event that he has every year, um,
nice.
just to incorporate the skill set of martial arts, Krav Maga. And, you learn something new at everywhere you go.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's funny because and I kind of failed here. Everything that I mentioned was about the tool and the equipment, but you're so right. It's so much more than that. I think it's been a big evolution for a lot of people. Is like it, you know, the tool, the gear, all that stuff. But up here, like this is what will free you. The awareness, the training, the hand to hand stuff, the martial arts, the and like the discipline and all the other stuff, all the benefits that come with that type of training. It's huge. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I know it is Valentine's Day, so I don't want to take too much time from you, but um, if you could leave everybody with a message or something, what would you want to let them know?
Well, this is actually the 15-year anniversary of the Heller decision, so we're going to be out doing a lot of stuff and collaborating with a lot of nonprofits across the country and hopefully across the world, because this is a human right, not a policy issue. It's not a partisan issue. It's a human right. Um, that being said, everything that I have been through, I don't care if you believe me. I want you to get up off your butt and grab someone and bring them to the range with you. Okay, train. This is fun. I will give out my personal number. I don't care where you are, even in the world. I will know somebody who will train you pro bono for free. Okay. This was
Nice.
preventable. You have value. You have worth. You matter. And you are worth fighting for.
Oh yeah. That's That's a great message, and a lot of you guys here, you kind of know mine. I'll say our like stance on the whole community, the whole DLD channel and community, even the other channels out there, right? We all believe that every single human has the right, just by being born, they all have the right to self-preservation, whatever tool they choose. If you choose in honor of Hoff a Uzi submachine gun, which we love you, Hoff, miss you, Hoff, then that's up to you. No one has the ability to dictate that, and yeah, empower yourself, love your family, and I love that, taking a friend to the range, family member to the range, and just share the gift, right? Like we don't do that enough, and I'm definitely guilty of not uh sharing the gift, mostly because of my psycho obsession with hoarding ammunition. But aside from that, I like taking people out to the range.
Freedom seeds.
Yeah, yeah, freedom seeds. Well, I really appreciate you coming on. Remind everybody just one more time um, who you are and what you do, for the people that weren't here in the beginning. Who you are, what you do, and where they can find you.
Sure, Kristie Tertel. I am the National Director of Legislative Policy at the Heller Foundation. Yes, that Dick Heller. www.hellerfoundation.org. And finally, we do invite you guys to join the Heller Army today. You can follow us on socials at Real Dick Heller, at the Heller Foundation, and then my little old personal stuff filled with like puppies and donuts, just at Kristie Tertel.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it, and you coming on, telling your story. I know it can't be easy, so I appreciate you doing that, especially on a day like Valentine's Day. Thank you for taking that time. It means a lot to me, to us, to everyone on the channel, and I'm grateful for your time. And as we close out, guys, I'm gonna close out in the same way that I do every single other time. Oh, we got dropped. As we close out, I'm gonna close out the same way that we do every single time, which is rule number one is be kind. It's so important that we're kind in everything that we do, right? That brief interaction that you have with somebody else, it could literally make the biggest impact on their life. You never know, right? Rule number two is to live a life of care, compassion, contribution, give to others. A hand that's open to give is open to receive, right? So when you bless others, you become blessed. Also, rule number three, because we know that the only way that we can defeat evil is with good men skilled in violence and good women skilled in violence, is to make sure that we're becoming as highly skilled in violence as we possibly can and be safe, be dangerous, and keep that thing on you. So for all of you guys that came in and just kind of went through this um, little roller coaster of emotions here. I appreciate all you guys. I'm grateful for all of y'all, and I may come back on and do just um, a short live back in a little bit. Just need to prep some things, and I'll see if I can pull it off. But I love you guys so much. I know it's gotten a little early, but I got things to do. So I love y'all so much. Make sure you comment after the video drops as well, and show some love for Kristie, and her showing courage to come on here, and it means a lot. So thank you. Love you guys. Peace.